What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be sharing with you my 5 personal finance tips, things that I have learned along my journey to financial freedom. I'm still on that journey and I hope you will find these tips helpful. Maybe some of them you already implement yourself. But with that being said, if you are brand new to this channel, my name is Heather and this is Dollar for Dollar. Thank you so much for joining. And if you are a subscriber and you've been on my channel before, thank you for coming back. So with that being said, we are going to just jump into the very first one. So the very first thing that I would say has been crucial along my journey has been having a budget. Now, I know there are sometimes people who feel like budgets are very restricting, and sometimes a budget has a very negative connotation and you think it's very temporary. But I have actually learned over the last few years that a budget allows you to track your money properly. It lets me see what's coming in and it lets me see what is going out. And for me personally, as somebody who likes to be in control more often than not, that's actually a great feeling for me. And that is something that my husband and I really love to implement and something we talk about on a regular basis. We have what we call budget meetings and we sit down and we talk a little bit about our goals, not only short-term but long-term goals and how our budget is going to make those goals happen. So I highly recommend, no matter where you are in your financial journey, having some type of budget. Number 2, start your investing journey ASAP. If you are not already investing, get started. It can be something as simple as you're just putting into your company's 401k and you're getting that full match and you're using some of the funds that they have provided to you. Index funds are another simple, easy way to just sort of follow along with the stock market. Whatever it is that works for you and your investing style, go ahead and just get started. That is the most important thing. Even putting a little bit away now can make a huge difference in the end. And if you've been on my channel at all before, you have heard me say multiple times, compound interest is your best friend. It really is, because that is what's going to actually build wealth for you in the long run. It's not actually the amount of money that you're putting in, it's the amount of time you allow that money to grow. So keep that in mind. Now, the third thing that I have learned, and I honestly learned this after the fact, so a piece of advice to you if you're ahead of the game here, but work really hard at building multiple streams of income before you have a family. Again, I came to this realization late in the game and I started doing this after the fact, which just means that I have to now spend more time prioritizing things, and it's just a little harder to juggle with my time, my family commitments, with everything else going on. But if you're single and you're young especially, start working on those multiple streams of income now. I've read that you should have up to 7 streams of income. For me personally, that's something I'm working on, is having those multiple streams of income so that if ever one stream or 2 streams were maybe down or non-existent at the time, I would have others to fall back on. And that's what's ultimately going to give you, I think, the financial freedom that you're seeking, right? It's not having to trade our time for money. It's being able to get back time, right? That's, I think, the goal for many of us. It's not more money, it's having more freedom of our time. And having multiple streams of income can definitely do that for you. Number 4, don't just live within your means, live well below what your income allows. Okay, so for my husband and I, we live on 70% of our household income. And that is everything. That's expenses. That's us putting money towards charity, towards giving to our local church. Like, everything is included in that. So that 30% that we are not tapping into, that we're not using and we're not allocating anywhere, we can actually put that towards things like a future project or a future car. Like, we allow ourselves the ability to put that money aside into things for the future. And so I highly recommend not just living within your means, because you can spend all that money month over month and you're still living within your means, but actually taking that money, living well below that, and making sure that as you get bonuses and increases, that you don't have your lifestyle go up with it, okay? At least not right away. Like, give yourself a very good cushion in between where you are income-wise and where you're living. And that way, you'll actually be able to build true wealth. And honestly, number 4 really leads me into my 5th and final tip here, which is don't buy things you can't afford, okay? If you have to put it on a credit card and you cannot immediately turn around and pay it off, you can't afford it, okay? We have the opportunity to finance everything these days. You can finance furniture, cars, phones, like you name it, you can finance it. Just because you can afford that monthly payment doesn't mean you can afford it, okay? So I think that is where I see a lot of people make some severe financial missteps and set themselves back. Like buying a $25,000 car when you only make $40,000 really is not the best idea in that current financial situation, right? Because you're gonna have to leverage debt. And to do that, that means you're actually spending more money in the long run because you're financing it. But you don't want to do that. So honestly, for me personally, I just make sure that I don't get caught up in the trap of like doing what everybody else does and trying to impress other people, because it doesn't matter. To me personally, I'm very thankful that a car is just really a way to get from point A to point B. I just need some basic necessities and I'm pretty content overall. So I have a car that's actually 16 years old now, and my husband drives a truck that's 20 years old. So clearly we are not going to be those people going out and leasing a car or getting a car every 5 years. It's just not our lifestyle, and it's just really what's not important to us at the end of the day. So don't buy things you can't afford. So there you have it. Those are my 5 personal finance tips and things that I have personally learned that have really changed my life. Some of that I learned pretty early on, and some of it I had to learn along the way, and it took me some more time, but I just wanted to pass that along to you and hope that you find that helpful. So leave me a comment below. Which of these do you follow, or maybe what's the best finance advice you have ever received or heard? I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next video.